Hey guys, how are you? Good. Good. We're here to do a reading. A reading. A reading. We're here to do a reading wherever we might go. So we're gonna do a reading. This is gonna be a Is This You reading. Actually, we're gonna do a Is This You reading, but we're gonna do 3 different stories. So what that means, and as we know, this is going to be channeling and reading the cards. The cards are what guides us, or me, and what I'm supposed to speak to you guys specifically about, instead of just telling you all the channel messages I get, because, well, quite frankly, that's too hard for me, because I kind of hear that more than I hear people talking. So I have my friend, my little friend over here. Hello. Hello, coin sir. How are you doing today? I am not doing good with the camera in my face. Okay, sorry. I'll be right here again. Okay? Okay. So let's do this. For those that are new, welcome. Sorry. Sorry, my poor little face is breaking out because of those little masks. But it is what it is. And I suppose the words worn and torn could be written on my face. Elemental Rolling Stones. Okay, let's do this. So this is going to be the Is This You? We're going to spirit do 3 different stories. Can I get cards for each story? That's going to be the first story. Can I get 2 more cards? Interesting. Thank you. Perfect, Spirit. Thank you for flipping those the direction they need to be as well. So I'm not sitting here like, what is happening? Can I get for pile number 2, Spirit? Okay, you want me to do it that way? Okay. These are my rock cards. These are how I channel. Spirit, can we get 3 clarifications of the very first deck for pop? You might be an aqua. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. All blue. Interesting. Someone needs to work on their 3rd eye or heart chakra. By the way, for anyone that's new, for any of my followers, which obviously is the coolest clan little ever, is potentially Hindu and or Indian and or Australian. I have always wondered, and I've never actually asked anyone. I have this like dot in between my forehead, and it's a scar. You can't see it because it, for some reason, blurs the lines, but you can see it very apparent in person. I was wondering what that was, because I think it's from something in the past, because it literally is like this little round, perfectly round scar in between my eyebrows. And it's, I mean, it's very visual. So leave a comment or drop a comment if you know what that could have been from. I was wondering if it might have been past life thing, but it doesn't really matter. I was just thought, why not ask, because I might actually get the answer instead of always wonder. So this is going to be for story number 2. I know. They're dramatic when they talk, aren't they? Cosmo's like, those cards about, I know. It's like I get yelled at sometimes. No, my guys are like, no, you just don't want to yell at people, so you try to be nice and put things in, and we're sick of you reading that way. Come here. Where's your thingy? Good morning. I'm going to shuffle the last pile. This is going to be the second to last. One more for number 2. You should have seen Simon in the Wind. Hey, we're back. Okay, so I already did the piles. Perfect timing. So we're going to start with pile number 1. Okay, so for those that are choosing pile number 1 and or your favorite number is either 1, I don't want 2 or 3, it's going to be 1. Or you just choose pile number 1, this is going to be pile number 1, okay? You don't think about it. Just choose it, you know? That's really the way it works. Because again, on this channel, you guys, we're working on trusting ourselves. Trusting ourselves. One of your names might be Chelsea. And then the other thing I wanted to say. Okay, someone's name, Chelsea, has a grandma trying to channel. She has short hair. She's trying to tell you something, but you're not hearing her. I don't know what that means. Anyways, I need to clear that energy. Clear that energy. Guide, step in. Thank you. But the thing is that we're realizing is when we are working on ourselves and working on our development of understanding ourselves, etc., we're also having to learn to deal with our shadow. I'm very, very, very different spiritual person, I think, like we all are, but I look at the world as fluency. I don't look at the world in a science way. So yes, science helps us understand fluency, but often enough, for instance, science is built also on the string theory, which is not actually knowing the answers to how things intermingle within itself and how things are all ironically connected. And we don't know how that exactly happens, but we do know that it is actually a thing. That's why they call it that. So what I have to do is I'm extremely connected to the divine. I actually spent the first 20 years of my life meditating, the first 14 years of my life deaf in one ear, with ADHD, and one of my ears is deaf, part deaf. Doctors didn't know for a very young age. But anyways, that just meant basically everyone was, when I was getting in trouble, which is a lot because of my ADHD, I couldn't hear what they were saying. So, and no one knew. Long story short. I'm just going to leave it at that. My family has their own karma of being ignorant and not paying attention, quite frankly, right? But regardless, it has allowed me to more spend my life meditating in the very beginning, where I'd observe people's actions and what they were saying and their responses to things based on what they were actually saying, where I couldn't hear. So with that being said, I basically got extremely well at channeling, which I didn't really know forever that was channeling. Honestly, I just thought I had a lot of voices in my head, until I started to grow my spiritual gift, and here we are today. I pretty much have the gift that to me is amazing and yet horrifying at the same time, because I can look in someone's eyes and see the best person in the world you can be of yourself, and I also could see the worst within hell you could be within yourself. Every single person has that side of them. I call it is essentially our shadow, but it can be a lot uglier than our shadow even is. So my job here is to be a vessel for the divine, like I do normally, to present my gift to you, for them to use me as they need me, to be able to transmute and cultivate and create some sort of fundamental knowledge for us to understand a little bit more how to understand our shadow. With this being said, the shadow is always a masculine and feminine vibe. We each have it in us, period. You could be a feminine. You could be a feminine masculine. You could be a masculine feminine. You could be all of the above. It is not an actual thing. It is the way people present themselves and how they react based on trauma, experience, drama, and or how they choose to, whether it's purely based on ignorance, etc., etc. So a lot of the readings I will say on this channel, for those that are new, if you saw the last one and you all of a sudden were like, oh, this seems so sweet, we're not always that way. So please be aware of that. We are not always going to be like that. A lot of times it is going to have to do with our shadow, so we're going to have to start breaking down things. but I need us to break down things for we to understand, right? Because if we break down things and we understand how they actually work originally, then it will help us understand and forgive ourselves more for the toughness we tend to have on ourselves, period. Okay? Some of us, since working on our shadows, are trying to find new hobbies, activities, interests, etc., etc. Ways of my recommendation of encouragement is making sure that you do things that allows you to at least have one day off when doing this thing with yourself and the divine, or being able to make sure it's something where you can still be connected to the divine while you're doing this new endeavor. Something else I want to recommend, because that's going to still make sure that if you do start a project, you're still going to be able to communicate and hear the divine for those that are practicing that, so you don't have to worry about feeling like it's not going to be balanced inevitably. And then the other thing that I'm going to recommend also is the fact that we why am I having a brain fog? We make sure that essentially by doing things that we really care about and really enjoy, we're learning about ourselves. So we don't right off the bat need to know. That's like being young, right? When we are young and we are deciding what we even want to do with the world without our family or parents or whoever, whatever, telling, or adults telling us no, 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 because of their own fear, insecurities, and transitions, that they haven't been able to transmute and move through. We get so excited. Remember when we were young and we were like, yay, we get to, or you do something and it was so fun. It's that same kind of thing. Just because we're an adult doesn't mean it needs to be daunting or scary. We choose to put that fear upon ourselves. And technically that is because of our thyroid, adrenal hormone. I mean, it's not because of that, but based on so many things that I cannot even go on to, because that itself would lead onto a rabbit hole for me, because I know way too much about nerdy things. But it's just really important to remember that we need to make sure that we ground ourselves. Grounding yourself is also really important for people of all types, because it also helps you when we have our thyroids and our adrenals and or our bodies are a little bit anxious all the time, because everyone is either anxious, fearful, etc., etc., etc. It allows us to actually ground and actually start thinking about our nerves and actually presently calming them down to be able to ground. So not only subconsciously, self-consciously, and generally are you grounding yourself, you're actually learn to be able to try to work and control your nervous system in certain ways. Anyways, moving on. So we're going to start with pile number 1. It was 1, 2, or 3. Bless you. So also, we are, oh my gosh, me and the universe made up a word for it. Fuck, I already forgot it. It's supposed to be our inside thing, I think. Non-gender specific. So I don't even understand genders, because I do, but I don't, I guess. I see them as a way that the 3D, quite frankly, they came from the 3D, so we should all be looking at Earth people, because people that are Earth signs are basically inevitably, you are what creates the world to be what it is, and we kind of follow you, so I'm assuming you guys should know. But I'm sure there are also going to be Earth signs that are like, we're not, and it's like, well, essentially you are, but sorry, that is your job. You do run Earth, so take some responsibility, and don't always throw it on all the spiritual people that are also supposed to be able to do your job. So the reality is energy is fluent. similar relevance to the string theory, right? All intermingled in itself. The reality is we're made of dead matter. Period. I don't care if you're a fucking what the fuck ever you are to yourself or not. It is beautiful. Now, I am a naturalist. So what that does mean is I'm all about people, encouraging people to understand to love themselves, understand to remove the shadow aspects that have been disposed upon you or that you have chosen to take and throw on yourself and or etc. that makes you feel like you cannot be the person that you want to be. I don't understand why people hide from things. I don't understand why people feel like they need to change themselves. All because of their own misunderstanding of themselves on being able to present that. I do understand that there could be insecurities, but again, here, when we master and understand our shadow, we realize that literally people have absolutely no power over us, period. So it also is like, why did I do that for so long? I don't know, but we're going to figure it out together and we're going to change it. So right off the bat, whoever chose this pile is going to be dealing with, you got a 7 of Pentacles. So it does look like we're working on building up our finances. It does look like there's growth. We're making wishes. We have the 8 of Swords in reverse. I do feel like we were passionate about something, but some of us might be second guessing that passion, etc., for whatever the reasons may be. And it does look like the 2 of Cups. So with that being said, it does look like we are looking into new endeavors, new opportunities of love, new situationships, new interests, new hobbies, new, etc. When it comes to this, again, we're dealing with more cups. We're dealing with cups, money, and air. Air is in reverse, so I do feel like past communication of some sort, whether it's drama, whether it's just people that used to talk are not talking anymore, you are not worrying about it anymore, the situation is ceasing, communication is at halt or has ended. This could be because of the fact that someone was sharing love in a sense of choosing that they want to be single and free with the 2 of Cups, or this could just be someone that feels as though they could gain more opportunity being single and free when it comes to work. Okay, take that as you need to. So it looks like we have communication in reverse right off the bat, and then we have calmness in reverse right off the bat, and then we have magic in reverse right off the bat. So with that being said, I do believe that there could be someone that was, did come in with, some communication, that is ended. I think that they were told, from my feeling, whether you told someone this or they told you this, etc., that they're focusing, working on my fitness. He's my witness. Ooh-wee. That is so hilarious. It's Fergie. It's weird. Sorry, someone last night kept calling me something alicious. Like, anyways. So, sorry. He drove a motorcycle, and so my papu had 500 motorcycle people leave his funeral. That wasn't even the amount of people that were at his funeral. That's my grandpa. For those that don't know, I'm Greek. He's passed away, obviously. But you won't see me sad because I feel like he's still here with me. I was his favorite. Even now, he was a man of silence, so he would never admit it, but you could see it in his eye. And our family knew. But anyways, so I don't even know why I went on that tangent, but it looks like I don't know. I feel as though someone thinks someone is doing magic on them. But they're not. Whoever chose this pile, that's not the case. You're actually essentially doing magic against yourself because you're blocking yourself from being able to create. When we have magic in reverse and Mother Nature upright, that's showing that you're choosing to continue to mind boggle yourself in the illusion that someone's doing magic on yourself, but the reality is you're too stubborn, or I'm literally hearing bullheaded, to go in nature and do what's good for you. So anytime you don't get what you want, essentially, you blame it on something else. I don't know who that message is for, but that was a huge message, and that was totally just a channel message. When you don't know how to communicate in an effective way, and you don't know how to be calm on things that you're not comfortable with, I'm seeing friendship as well here, or you don't know how to be calm. In other words, this person doesn't know how to take, there's no accountability. So I don't know what this is for, but this is someone that absolutely, it's not seeming as though you have any accountability. But you have friend upright, you have meaningful dreams upright, you have truthfulness upright, and you have listening upright. So this also could be a fact that there is someone that you're dealing with that you could be making choices between, or you're at this state in your life where you're realizing, I'm no longer going to do what's not good for me. Why is it so hard to grab a card? I'm going to work on my finances, move forward with my finances, and I'm going to just work on sharing my cups, okay? With that being said, sharing my cups, being open to new experiences. I'm not going to stay in this delusional state of mind where I'm not getting communicated with the way I need to, and or I'm not being heard the way I need to, and I'm self-inflicting pain on myself, assuming people are doing magic in me. Again, because it's okay to think it, just don't keep thinking about it, because while you're creating it, you literally are creating it in your life, and then you're talking about it, which is not, if you can create something like that, why the fuck would you not create something for yourself? Exactly. And if you wouldn't create something for yourself, that's because you don't want to. Therefore, you just gain knowledge, and you will create magic against yourself because you know it's not right what you're doing, and you're continuing to be blatantly disregard what you should be doing, period. Calmness is in reverse. So there could be a situation regarding a friend where someone's not going to be calm in a situation. You got truthfulness and listening. So I don't understand why that's the case. But again, it sounds like someone just doesn't communicate. And when they do communicate, they obviously blow. Whoever this other person is that's listening, friendship, this is obviously has to do with friendship, so both the cards are this, but the truthfulness about situations, this person's grounded. So either this is two different people, or what you need to do is work on you. You need to work on grounding yourself because you're not grounded at all. Stop blaming other people for the fact that you don't have the self-determination to get up and do what you need to do for your own self-care. And you need, maybe you have someone that is trying to do something. There's something new with friendship. So take that as you need to your story. With meaningful dreams, if you're getting bad dreams, I'm hearing that's because you're not exercising enough. And then something about truthfulness and listening. So I just believe that you need to be truthful to yourself. The divine's listening to everything you're saying. This is just completely a person that just keeps going in circles. They want something, but they don't want to do anything to make it change. Okay. Evie. I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, so those that chose pile number 2. And again, for those that are new, it's not my job for you to become codependent on me and tell you how to get yourself out of the situation. This channel is about you hearing what I'm saying is what you need to work on, and then you go connect with your divine and start making yourself do it. I can bitch at you all day long, and I will have times that I do that because of the fact that the same story will pop up like every single week, and I'll get sick of it, trying to avoid it. But here we do just need to work on those things, and once we choose to do that and go ground ourselves, usually the problems fix themselves. So it's not even really a problem, period, right? So those that chose pile number 2. Okay, I'm gonna need coffee for this one. Evie, are you okay, Debbie? I love your chicken nugget. I love you. Handsome bean. Do you know where your sister is though? Oh. Oh, we have a spirit here. Cool. Who's here? Cosmo. He's sleeping. He doesn't care. Oh, for those that are, I've been getting, that's right, I keep getting, fuck. Hey, I was worried about you. Leave Cosmo alone, please. Come up here, though, if you need to. Leave him alone, please. For those that are new channelers, like you are learning that you're a channeler, one of the first signs you're going to get when you're channeling is when you close your, oh, for me at least, I'll speak for me. Seriously. Leave Cosmo alone. Please. Monkey. You're gonna be right here too. Oh my god, sorry you guys. I don't eat enough food and apparently today my body wants to make a lot of noises because of that. I've been trying to at least eat 2 meals a day. I'm working on 3. It's really hard. I have really bad ADD and I'm not medicated, and let's just say as an adult, it's really, 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 really hard to keep yourself accountable, especially when you're a new business owner of your own, but whatever. So, it is what it is. So, at least my ass is not getting smaller and my boobs are. So, it looks as though in this conversation, wait, why did I say conversation? Oh, interesting. We have conversation in reverse. So there is 2 conversation cards in this deck. Fascinating. So this is someone thinking about the past. Lover. Someone that's ghosted them. Someone that's ghosted them because essentially maybe you got ghosted. You could be like me and we get ghosted because of the fact that it's like this catch-22, right? So you find a relationship, let's just say you find the perfect person, whatever. Maybe you're a masculine and or a feminine. Again, you can be a masculine with a feminine vibe. It's all relevant. We have masculine and feminine in us. Please watch the last video I just put up, Scorpio Moon, if you need to understand gender specifically, how I think and work. Moving on. Sorry, smoked a shit ton of weed last night. Anyways, so with this being said, someone is extremely passionate when it comes to the things, basically, someone's thinking about the past. They're thinking about the past. Someone does think that someone gets a lot of attention. So I feel like someone could be reminiscing on the past in a situation. Thinking about how someone basically left them out in the cold, out in the dark, out alone, without... Basically, we had to call Ghostbusters on their ass. Just gone. Something that you totally thought... Gone. Okay? Maybe you're wondering or thinking most likely the reason they're gone is because of all these little options they have, or maybe they're thinking about this, about you, etc., etc., etc. Okay? We have conversations and passion reverse. So why this got walked away from, I don't know. The one thing with passion is passion could be lust. Now it depends. Passion is only lust when passion is something that hurts you. So, a relationship cannot be a negative, passionate one if one of the people is healthy. In other words, if you choose to be in a relationship that's toxic, let's just say you're 2 addicts. and you choose to be with each other. That is what you call passion. Why? Because it's all negative endeavors. It's about sex. It's about this person will do this for me. It's about it's all about those things. There's no actual growth that will and or can. It's also codependency, especially if the person has earth in their chart and or air in the chart, okay? In other words, oh yeah. I'm not allowed to say that, but yes, I absolutely agree, Spirit. The reality is there's a situation where someone's reflecting on what the fuck happened. They had passion for something. There was absolutely no conversation. There was ton of love at one point. Then all of a sudden, someone calls Ghostbusters. You know, you got abundance in reverse. Overextension, aptitude, and insecurity. So, what you see and what you're feeling is polar opposite. So what you're feeling is though you were left out, most likely, you were left out in the dark, in the cold, whatever. We had to call Ghostbusters on someone's ass. You're feeling like they're super, super, super all that in a bag of Cheetos and people are recognizing them. Or you're feeling like I'm happy to be myself and that's the recognition I'm getting, but that's not even what I wanted, but that is what I'm stuck with because of the fact that I can't be with a child, essentially. And that's someone that makes choices like this. Because if someone like this, they're a child. It's like a Peter Pan. Like, they just keep fucking running around. The thing is this kind of person, I just watched a movie on this kind of person. This guy seems so cool. And then he ends up being like 40-something years old trying to do the same shit. And he's all alone. Like, he literally had like 20 girlfriends that would not... old girlfriends that he wanted to do even a documentary on, like, why he was still single. Or why he was actually married a couple times. But why he was alone. And the girls wouldn't even communicate with him. And he's still, to this day, he's an Aquarius. Only fucking Aquarius can go on so fucking autopilot that it's unbelievable. That he still, to this day, doesn't even understand why. And then he tries to communicate with these people. You know, like, hey, I want to do a documentary to understand what I did wrong. They won't even speak to him. Why? Because he didn't want to figure out a shadow. He wanted to do what he wanted to do and pray to God it works. And guess what? Now he's living in a van by himself. And it's sad because he's fairly cute, but it's like, you can't fix stupid. You can't make someone be secure and to grow that wants to go back to patterns that don't allow them to grow. I don't care if you think that you're going to start this whole new lifestyle. If you're with someone that takes money from you, this dramatic, amazing, exciting, fabulous lifestyle you're creating isn't going to happen. You can't manifest out of a way of lack. And if anyone thinks that they could especially manifest within a way of negativity and or not nurturing, it has probably been very hard for you to manifest things in your life. And that could be why also there was a codependency or is a codependency on the relationship, is because you were not educated to understand even how things worked when it comes to fluency. I mean, it has to do from what's right from wrong, right? When moms tell kids to clean their rooms, right? When you grew up and your mom said, clean your room, my mom wouldn't be like, what I would do, right, is shut the door. No one goes in there but you. My mom would be like, fuck no. Why? Because it was a way of creating self-discipline in myself. She could have just said, shut the fucking door and not do it. But how would that teach me anything about keeping myself accountable, of taking care of loving myself? Because if I can't take care of myself and love myself in my own space or to myself, how the fuck, and you are insane if you think that you are taking care of anyone else around you. Because most likely what's happening is your insecurities within the home and feeling like you're overextending yourself, but the divine saying by not overextending yourself, which means it's a mind war or a choosing war, I don't know, not only is making you financially broke, or this person, because of the situations that they're still tagged to, which is not your fucking problem. You cannot fix stupid. And do you want someone's trash that wasn't even, like, they had an option. They knew what was, I mean, look at you. when you separate, look at them. Whoever sways better, whoever actually can carry on life, has a job, like does the basic bitch essentials for themselves. And a job is a job is a job, whatever you classify as a job. Again, we don't categorize things in these little 3D. I'm not against Earth, but I don't do Earth signs, period. Like, you will not, this is not a channel where you're going to hear the way an Earth sign will read, period. Just so you know. Nothing about this channel is 3D. So if you were a 3D way of thinking, you're probably actually going to get very annoyed with this channel because it's all about growth, and you're someone that wants to just buy things, and we're just opposites. I'm here to help people actually overmaster their shadow and actually create anything and everything that they want in their life. Not just to buy fucking shit, throw it in their face, and then wonder why everyone turned out similar to me when we are around and we create what we're around. But anyways, we have passion reverse, conversation reverse. So based on someone else's insecurities, that A, not having enough money, B, not being this, C, this is just they're a victim. This person is going to be a victim for the rest of their life. And they will spew their goose everywhere with victimness. And the reason I went here is this. And the reason, or I can't do this, or just move on. That energy is so toxic. It doesn't want to get fixed. That is what I classify as narcissistical energy, because they do not want the truth. They know the truth. They just want to sit in the shit and resonate in it because they're comfortable in the shit. It's up to you. Are you going to be passionate or not? Go towards what we're passionate over. And we can't move to what we're passionate over when we have all of this baggage connected. And then when they're like, well, you're all of this and I'm all this, so I had to just step away, and you're just bull fucking shit. Move on. The person can run their mouth till the day they die. They know. Period. They just think they're smart enough to manipulate you, and saying that because that's a very 3D thing to say. That is such a fucking earth sign thing to say. It's unreal. The reality is if I need you to step out of the situation, pile number 2, you can resonate, but the reality is the person ghosted you. Why? Because I want to say it, but I'm trying really hard to be nice. Because the person has nothing in their life that's even worth anything in the way that they see you. And whether you see this in the person, whether you could create this in the person, all of the above, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the person doesn't want to. Period. They know they need to change. They don't want to. Period. And they're going to do an earthy way of being, in the example that we've given, a 3D way of being. And they're just going to be a victim and say, and project all of that onto other people by having only that to talk about for a very long time. Or they're going to stay in a toxic situation, hoping that they can keep creating growth with this person, and it's going to be this roller coaster and or carousel where the wheels on the bus go round and round, 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 over and over and over. Okay? Okay. So, and next lifetime, their karma is going to be... Anyways. But you won't have to deal with them next lifetime. That's also something people should remember. You don't always deal with the people that are in your life, period. Like, you don't usually ever. There are certain people like this, usually not. Like, if it ended this way and you're able, like, I've gone through this situation once, actually. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I've gone through this situation and I'm emotionally completely over it, which is really sad to me. That I could have loved someone so much and they did something that hurt me so much, because that's not me as a person, where I don't even think I could kiss the person anymore. It's crazy. But it does happen when someone's not healthy, you'll see, and unfortunately, time makes it worse. It's better because it helps you move forward, but it's worse in the fact that I don't know, something that was so magical to you at one time. Like I don't understand how people could do that to people. It's like you actually found someone that actually thought you were all this magical, and then they choose to be either around themselves that enables themselves their whole entire life, or they choose to be around someone that enables them their whole life, and that's not healthy for them because they're not ready. So for me, it's kind of like, wow, like the divine literally gave you one lifetime to catch up 2 lifetimes, and you literally just chose to stick your head in the sand. Like, it's just outstanding to me, but that's not my journey. I have, thank God, all my earth is in my earth signness. Cappy is all in my planets, and thank God. I think last lifetime I had a shit ton of earth, and thank God that's why. But it's very, very 3D way of thinking, and quite frankly, I haven't met any 3D person in this day and age right now during COVID that's happy. So that tells you, yeah, what you need to work on is the reality is, unfortunately, for whoever chose pawn number 2, your emotional purity and your nature, your nurturing nature, is a gift from God to the world, or from higher power, from spirit. You're so fucking rare that you're not allowed to essentially just be with anyone. Yeah, and unfortunately, there are a lot of sick people out there, and it's not even sick within it's just, they're addicts, and, you know, the sad thing is there are actually addicts out there that actually have really cool depth, but when you're an addict with a narcissistical fuse, because this is narcissism, when someone chooses to be completely ignorant every day of their life to the truth, you are a fucking narcissist. Pull your head from in your ass and look at yourself in the mirror, because you probably don't want to. But that's the reality of it. People will hurt people that are emotionally pure. It is what it is. It's not seen in this world today. So when it is there and presented, I think it kind of takes everyone very off guard. And it's kind of like, nuh-uh. For instance, last night we were outside, but I was around a decent amount of people outside. And they all were talking about me and I was having a conversation with someone else. It was his birthday, and I had just met him last time I was at this place. Outside, because there's an outside aspect of it. I only go outside to places anymore. And I literally turn around because I hear, she is so nice. And I look over, and they're all just staring at me. And I'm like, what is going on? And then someone had said something about my sweetness, and they all were just shocked.